So let me just move on to my next slide, but I believe you're not able to see my slide. So let me just start sharing my screen first, which will help. Okay, so can I firstly just get a show of hands or just a thumbs up that you are able to hear me? Just a thumbs up or something on those lines would be great. Uh, Anybody able to give me a thumbs up, please? Yes, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. That's great. So, firstly, the purpose of Peak Health Mastery is to educate, to empower, and to enable. I want to pay my respects to the traditional owners of the land where I stand, which is in Melbourne, in Australia, and also a gratitude to the members of the Marunda Indian community who have made this event possible through their, I should say, support and also through assisting with development of the content. In the Health Mastery program, we're going to be talking about an integrative approach to living a life of peak health and vitality. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dr. Arun Deer. I'm a gastrointestinal surgeon, university academic, and I have always had this, inherent hunger, I should say, to figure out ways and means of how we can bring a holistic and evidence-based and a holistic approach to our health and well-being. I have authored a few books and you can search that about me. But more importantly, all proceeds from this program will be going towards a charity, which is a charity that I founded around COVID time, which is called Circle of Life Foundation, where our purpose is to support orphan kids, underprivileged kids in India, Bali, and in Australia. I also want to thank Monique, who's here with me. She's my co host, and she is going to be running one module of this particular course, which is on the heart set, and I'll share that with you in a brief moment. But the key thing is that, it's a team effort, it's a team approach. So I want to thank Monique for that. What this program is not, and I think we need to be clear about what this program can do for you, but what this program is not. So, the first thing I want to be very clear about is that I'm a surgeon, I have a medical practice. None of this is aimed towards promoting my practice. In fact, as you will find out shortly, the purpose is to how to reduce your reliance on drugs, on medications, pills, and procedures. There is no intention on my part to try and sell you any goods over here or supplements or my books or anything of that sort. And the third and the most important thing is it's not black magic or energy and those kind of things. There is evidence. This is not a get well quick program. This is about evidence and this is about doing things in a safe, practical manner such that we progress and develop as a community. I often say this: take the best and leave the rest. If you don't agree with me on something, you don't have to agree with me on everything. But if there is one idea, just one idea that you can take from this entire presentation that can change your life by applying it, well, you know what? You've got the benefit from this. So, I guess the first thing that we want to know is why are we here? All right. More importantly, why are you here? All right. You've taken out time from your busy schedule, no matter where you are. I know that there is a reason why you are here, and the reason is change. You are seeking some sort of a change. But here is what I've often said, that for things to change in your life, you'll have to change things in your life. Now, that's not a clever play on words, but I think it is important to recognize that if you keep doing the same things, you keep getting the same results. As Aristotle said, the definition of insanity is to keep doing the same things and keep expecting different results. So we want to change that paradigm. But I think we need to understand what is it that we value the most. And I think that if, as a medical practitioner who's now been practicing now for over 3 decades, reflecting my age over here a little bit, I can tell you this, that there are 3 things that we all value in life. Health, we all need health, we all need wealth, and we all need relationships. There's no point having health and wealth without anybody to share it with. Okay, can I just get a show of hands or just a thumbs up that you agree with what I'm saying, and I'll just have a quick sip of my cup of tea? Anybody who sort of feels that there is anything else, can you use your chat function, please? Yes. All right, looks like we have a bit of a quiet audience. No problems. Okay, well, we have got a response. So thank you, Elena. Thank you for your response. Let's keep moving, So why do we value these 3 things? Well, we value these 3 things because of joy, peace, and freedom. That's what we are all seeking ultimately. Joy, peace, and freedom. So when we put these things into context, I think the important thing is it starts with self-care. As has been said in the famous books and well-known books, that you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't pour from an empty cup, and that's where self-care becomes so important. So you showing up for this particular event, or you showing up for this 1 hour time that we're going to be spending together, is a reflection of your self-care. Self-care for your physical, mental, spiritual, and your future self. So that's where it is important, because as has been said that, self-care is giving the world the best of you, not what's left of you. And I think I've heard this so many times with my clients who have shared with me that, it's my time now. It's time for me to do things now, because they are sick and tired of just giving off themselves. Now, I've got a few little polls that I want to just get a bit of an idea from what you guys are doing. So I'm going to launch a poll, which is an anonymous poll. So please don't feel that, there is anything that we are going to be doing which is exploring. But if you are able to see this poll, can I just request you, do you believe that our mindset influences our health? I'd just like you to say yes, no, or maybe. What do you think? Just give me a thumbs up, or just answer the poll. Excellent. We've got one response. Is there anybody else who would like to put in a response? And then I will end the poll in a second. Beautiful. Lovely. Okay. All right, I'm going to end the poll, and I think whoever have answered, it's fairly obvious that yes. The answer is that yes, our mindset influences our health. So I'm talking to the right crowd. Let's get out of this poll, and let me now ask you, let's go to the next thing. So what is the purpose of Peak Health Mastery? And I'll share something with you which was very personal, that, around 2020, when the world was getting into lockdown, and I'm in Melbourne, and just for those of you who are not from Melbourne, I can tell you Melbourne had 6 lockdowns, one after the other. And it kind of decimated the human need to kind of, socialize. It kind of, made us feel as if we were prisoners. And I think many people in many cities across the globe felt that way. But the other thing that happened was that, being a surgeon, the first thing that they would do, because the hospitals were running low on resources to take care of the people who were getting sick and who were coming into the ICU and all of that, The first thing they did was they stopped all elective surgery. Who needed surgeons when people were dying because they couldn't breathe? They needed intensivists. They need emergency physicians. So that's what they needed more and more. So they stopped all elective surgery in Melbourne. So that took a toll on the private practice and the business side of things and all of that. Plus, I was going through some personal life challenges as well. I really felt very lonely. I felt the need to connect. I felt the need that, there was this desire to connect with people in a meaningful way. And that's what led to the birth of Peak Health Mastery. And the whole purpose was to help humanity heal themselves such that they can live healthy, purpose-driven, and meaningful lives. And I'll share this a little bit further with you. The vision of Peak Health Mastery is to enhance human and planetary health. Because let's be honest, human health and the health of our environment is interlinked. I'm not here like a green activist who's trying to say that, stop all these coal fuel power stations. I'm just saying that it's about the recognition that each and every choice that you're making is not only impacting the health of the planet, it's actually coming back to us as well. So it's impacting, there is this fine, beautiful mesh. It's a web. It's all interconnected. That's what we are trying to do. And how do we drive positive change? What is our tool? So as I said to you in the beginning, we believe that education is something that creates empowerment. So when I give information to you in a way that is genuinely meant to serve you from the platform of care and concern and compassion, what will happen is it empowers the individual, and that empowerment enables the person to take action, because we know education or information that is not applied is only going to go waste. And that is where your environment converts that empowerment into enablement. So you can then translate that and say, all right, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try this information that is being presented. So firstly, is this program really for you? You might be asking, hang on, I'm just listening to this random guy. Is this program really for me? Well, this program can help you with these 4 key things. I won't read all of this line by line, but if somebody's having issues with diabetes, fatty liver, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, this program has the potential to benefit you. The reason why I'm saying potential to benefit you is I do not believe in saying to anybody that stop all your medications, don't go and see your doctors. Not at all. We want to do it in an evidence-based manner. See your doctor. Check your blood test. That's what you'll be hearing from me in a short while. But when you start doing things in a manner that allows you to take one step and the other, you will start to see changes. And your medical team is going to tell you that, hey, maybe let's reduce your dose of medications for diabetes to half or your blood pressure to half. That's what we will observe, and I'll share with you how we're going to do that. If you've got gut health issues like IBS, reflux, weak metabolism, this program has the potential to help you. Number 3, if you're feeling weak, tired, lethargy, you want to boost your energy and vitality levels, well, this program is for you. And last, very importantly, if you are somebody who is focused on boosting your productivity, creativity, and also enhancing your focus, this program has the potential to help you. And I'll tell you, the most important thing that is missing in this planet currently, in our current times, is we are a distracted generation. And I hope you'll agree with me on this, that we are so sort of inundated with our notifications, with messages, emails, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all those sort of things, that we are like, a person who's having an electric shock all the time. It's like jittery, and we can't. So the one thing that is missing is that of focus. Now, there are 2 key aspects that I want to share with you in this particular program. One is about disease care versus healthcare. Now, yes, from an external point of view, I am a healthcare worker. You could say, yes, this guy is a doctor, he must be a healthcare worker. But I'll tell you honestly, the more I have delved into it and understood it, I'm actually a disease care worker. from an external perspective. Because people will only come to see me when they are sick, they have a disease. Nobody comes to see a doctor when they are feeling great, when they have got a lot of energy and all that. No, we are in the business of providing disease care. How do we do that? Well, we do it with pills and with procedures. Somebody's got a burst appendix, well, you can come and see me, I can fix that. That's what we have been doing. If somebody's got high blood pressure, you go and see a doctor, they're going to give you pills, and that's going to fix your blood pressure. But it's not fixing it permanently. So that's where the distinction will come, and we'll go into it. But just to let you know that this is a study that was published in the journal Nature, which actually said that just losing 10% of your body weight can fix metabolic syndrome, can help you manage your diabetes better, your cholesterol better, your high blood pressure can get better, your fatty liver, which a lot of people say that, oh, there is no treatment for it. Fatty liver is just a bit of extra fat in your liver. Well, scientific studies are telling us now that fatty liver has got a link with cardiovascular events, high incidence of stroke. Now you'd say, hang on, nobody told me that. So this is where education leads to empowerment, and that is what enables you. PCOS, a very common condition in younger women who are having weight issues, is because of disrupted hormones. Also, sleep apnea. Yes, people use the CPAP machine or the splints for fixing their sleep apnea, but really imagine just 7 to 11% total body weight loss can actually allow you to do that. Now, once again, I'm just taking this as a one single example. The second purpose of this program is about healthy aging. We are all aging. Sadly, that is the reality. But you know what? You can age in a healthy way. This is a study done by Luigi Fontana, which was published, which actually spoke about that there is a difference. Let's be clear about it. We are living longer lives. Our lifespans have increased, definitely, but our health spans have shrunk. It is considered that an average person above 65 years of age has got at least 3 major comorbidities. Now, as these comorbidities, as you get older, if you're not doing things in a certain way, you are actually going to get more and more disabled, if you're not doing things in a certain way. And people land up on a wheelchair, on a nursing home, they're dependent. So what the whole process of treating aging, as Luigi talks about, and he's a good friend, I've known him personally for a few years now, the important thing is he talks about actually expanding that curve so that you are living a more healthy and fit life for a longer duration of time, and then until you reach the end. Well, sadly, we all have to reach an end, So, regardless of whether you're old, you are middle-aged, you are, I don't like to use the word old because, see, it's all relative. There is a concept of biological age, there's a concept of chronological age, But this information is relevant to anybody and everybody. Why? Because we are living in an epidemic of chronic diseases. Sadly, most of these diseases are lifestyle related diseases, and we are treating all of them individually. Again, just talking about in my country, in Australia, just talking about obesity because that's an area of my specific focus. Again, I'm not trying to promote this as a weight loss program. This is not meant to be. You will not hear any of such things from me. But the important thing to keep in mind is that not only the adults are getting overweight, it is the kids. Almost it is estimated that 3 out of 5 kids in Australia and in most of the developed nations are overweight or obese. That is the next generation which is coming in. And friends, that is a lot of concern. In fact, COVID taught us that people who were overweight or obese had the highest risk of morbidity and mortality. You can see over here in this graph that if you had an adult COVID-19 person in the US, this is US data, that you had a 56% risk of admission, firstly of having COVID, and also a higher risk of ICU admission if you were a diabetic as well. So what do we do in Peak Health Mastery? We are going to be using these 4 key modalities which we believe can affect change. Number 1 is expert-led education. So my goal is over here to provide you with empowering information. We use mindful meditation to allow those concepts to sink in, to connect with yourself, and to develop that ability to connect with your breath. Number 3, we engage in mindful movement. And very importantly, the feeling or the sense of community. And as we go further, I'll explain what I mean by that. But very importantly, it's about changing your perspective. See, I believe in, as you guys already just said, that our health is a reflection of our mindset. Your mindset is causing you to make different choices. When you start taking that same trigger or the same stimulus that happens in your environment, and instead of going and making a poor choice such as, I'm upset, so I'm going to open a bottle of beer and have beer, instead of that, you could say, I'm going to put my headphones on and go for a walk instead. So that's where different things come. Let's do another poll. I would like to know from you. Let me just share the next poll that I have for you. And this is allowing me to understand who are the people that I'm talking to. All right. Do you believe that environment influences our behavior? Is there anybody who would like to jump in and share, or just put in your answer? That's all I'm asking for, What do you say? Do you believe that our environment influences our behavior? Awesome. I have got a lovely response from everybody, and that's the reason why you guys are here, that you do believe that our environment dictates our behavior. Let me just get out of my screen over here. Sometimes I think, Zoom, I'm just still trying to get to understand this a little bit better. Yeah. Okay. So I guess the next thing is, sorry, let me just go back one slide because so the whole purpose of this program is to allow us to sort of appreciate and understand that we are here to change our perspectives, because these perspectives are like limitations. They are like glass ceilings. They are like blind spots, and we all have blind spots. But when we tap into these sort of let's say, into the wisdom of other people, when we seek out information and we actually get out of our comfort zone, we start to see different perspectives and our own blind spots on how we were thinking about things. And as I said to you, friends, just now, that community, our environment, this environment that you are hanging out in, even though it is for 1 hour, but I can tell you, it has the potential to plant the seeds in your mind of a different way of thinking. That's it. When you start to change the way you approach things, you will start to see that the things that you approach also begin to change. So, coming from here, I truly believe that alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much. So with that, in that introduction, that brief background, and I know I'm mindful of today's class being just for 1 hour, and I'm going to try and stick to my time, but please forgive me if I sort of extend over by a few minutes, but we will have a chance for a question and an answer at the end, and you are welcome to put your questions in the chat box. Monique is my co-host. She's going to bring the questions up for me. But the structure of the program is somewhat like this, broadly speaking, and this is where the elements of holistic approach come in. We start with the mind. And this is the foundation. So we are talking about mindset and disease. How is this interlinked, Because mind is the organ of taking information, right? The body is what experiences it. The body has the experience. So when you take some information, apply it, and you start to get some experience, you actually start to develop an internal new memory. There's a new memory pattern which is created. The gut is the seat of your intuition. Gut is not just an organ where you eat food and you make poop. It's not just that. It is actually a gut-brain connection. You've heard of gut being your second brain, and being a GI surgeon, that's what I will talk about when we get to the gut module. The heart is actually something that gives you the knowing. It is the seat of your emotion, but it also gives you that clarity. And the soul is where you eventually find your purpose. Because when you find your purpose, and this is again a very well researched area in medicine, especially in cancer survivors who live with a feeling of purpose have got much better survival rates than those who have got no purpose. Isn't that fascinating? That you'd say, but that's all like spirituality and mumbo jumbo. No, there is a lot of, and we will talk about this, and we will sort of, deconstruct it. I have always believed, as one of my mentors, Carolyn Myss, says, that the soul always knows what to do to heal itself. The challenge is to silence the mind and to be able to listen to what your soul is telling you. So, where we believe very strongly is that information to transformation is the journey. We have got some power tools of our program, which is what we will get into very shortly. One is mindful movement. Of course, we can't do it on the beach side today, but we'll do it virtually wherever you are. And we will engage in a brief practice of mindful meditation. Why is this important, guys? It's important to understand that why are you hearing about mindfulness and mindful movement or yoga, for want of a better word, from a medical practitioner? Because all of this is actually recalibrating and rebalancing your immune system. There is a term called psychoneuroimmunology. What that means is that it is about your mindset, your psycho meaning the way you think, impacts your nervous system, which is neuro, and that in turn impacts your immune system. And your immune system is the one that is actually determining the levels of inflammation in your body. Inflammation is good for you and it is not good for you. It is good for you when it is in the acute short setting. You've heard this before, perhaps, when you get a cut, when you break a bone, whatever it may be, inflammation sends all of those resources that that area needs to actually heal itself. But when this inflammation continues for an extended period of time, it actually starts to hurt the actual host organ, which means it can lead to multiple diseases that we now know, and we are living in an epidemic of chronic inflammatory diseases. Obesity is an inflammatory disease. Now you'd say, hang on, nobody told that to me, that obesity is an inflammatory condition. Well, the fact of the matter is, studies have been done that inflammatory markers in overweight individuals are high. We know inflammatory bowel disease, ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, they are all inflammatory conditions. But so is diabetes, so is cardiovascular disease, and so are cancers. So it's important to educate yourself that, if inflammation, as Harvard Medical School says, chronic inflammation plays a central role in most of the diseases that our society is encountering. And there is a ton of evidence and good quality research that is available on this. This is a diagram from my book. Happy Gut, Healthy Weight. And I talk about the 4 new causes of obesity. And as I said to you, obesity is an area of my specific research and work. And I talk about these 4 new causes. Now, there's nothing new about it, but these are new because they don't get talked about much. Everybody thinks that obesity is about eating too much and exercising less. Well, that doesn't work. That model is broken. We know that. So it's about toxic stress, mindset. The more stressed out you are, the more poor quality decisions you're going to make. Number 2 is toxic inflammation in the body. Number 3, toxic food ingredients. And these are the things we'll talk about further in the program. But it's also about a disrupted gut microbiome. These are the bacteria that live in your gut and call it their home. And that is what sets up inflammation in your gut. That's where inflammation gets started. That is the gut health dysbiosis or leaky gut, whatever you want to call it. These are terms. And that is what is leading to metabolic syndrome, hormonal issues, thyroid issues, inflammation elsewhere. Because of paucity of time, I'm not going to go into details of all of this because today's class is really an overview. It's an overview of, okay, tell me, what are you going to talk about? So that's why it's about getting to know each other. Every week, I will endeavor to give you a health tip. That's again a part of the next, sort of, if whoever chooses to join us for this journey, I'll give you a health tip. Now, mind you, this health tip will not be start taking some supplements that I'm selling from my website. No, I'm not into that. But I'll give you things that you can apply in your life very easily, and it will help you start to see some benefits, small benefits, and then you can choose how you wish to do. One final poll. I know, I hope I'm not, I just want some engagement, I just want to see that we are actually this is all about getting to know each other. All right, guys, so that's what it is. So I want to know whether you guys have any goals for 2025. Can I just get you to pick up a goal that you might have on this question? What is my most significant goal for 2025? Let's just see. And again, I can't see your name, so please don't feel that you are I've got people over here. I'll share the results with you in a moment. But yes, please punch in your answers, please. Beautiful. Okay, so the results are, let us see. So we have got number 1 is, we've got 40% of people are saying that they want to start a routine of exercise and they want to learn a new skill such as hobby or a language. And we've got about 20% of people who are saying that they want to learn to manage their stress better. So thank you everybody for being honest about it, because what this is doing is, at some subconscious level, it is getting you to get clear, right? Clarity is the first thing to actually start to focus on what you wish to get out of a program like this. How to get the most out of this program? This is again one key realization. If you choose to come on this journey with me, the first thing you got to understand is intensity is always overtaken, or consistency always beats intensity. If you're just having bursts of activity, all right, versus something that allows you to be consistent, consistency will always beat intensity. So please understand that, make a discipline. If you say, yes, I'm committing to it, you will show up. That's the promise to yourself. So that's what I would urge you to do. Also, it's about getting intentional. See, as you get clear about, and I'll give you some tools in a moment to help you gain some clarity, that when you actually gain that focus, that clarity, you remember that experiment that we used to do as kids in the school? We'd take this lens and we'd try and focus it. And when you focus, when you get clear, you use this lens. And that lens allows you to focus the sun rays and actually create a fire or burn a hole in that piece of paper. So getting intentional and holding it for a duration of time. That's the other bit which people miss. You got to hold it, which means, say, if you choose to join us for this program, well, you got to show up for those 8 weeks. That's what we want to do. Well, today is the first week, so 7 more weeks. So that's the focus. Now, there are these 2 tools that I want to give you. If you haven't already downloaded, I'd urge you to please download this book from my website, which is called, and this is free, by the way. All right, there's no cost for it. You can scan the QR code. And this book, it's a very brief read. So please, I'm not asking you to read like 300 pages of my book. No, it is a very small book, about 30 pages, but it has got some very thought-provoking questions in it. I share a bit of my journey in it, and then I give you certain tools which allow you to get clear, some questions which allow you to get clear on what is really my pain point. We might be thinking sometimes, what happens is when you actually do this exercise, you might be thinking the pain point is somewhere else, but actually it is somewhere else. All right. And that's what is the revelations around it. The second thing that I want you to do is to download this free health barometer. As they say, what gets measured gets managed. Now, this health barometer I developed with the help of my friend Gagan. Now, Gagan is not a medical doctor, but he's a health advocate. Now, he's not here with us today because he's hiking Mount Kilimanjaro. But the key thing is that health barometer is a set of 10 questions. All right. These are things that you can do very simply. And some of this we will have a look at today in a moment. But the key thing is that it gives you a score. You score yourself, whether you are in green, you're in amber, or in red zone. For example, this is just one example, For men in the group, check your waist circumference. Now, if your waist circumference for men is more than 102 centimeters, well, you are in the red zone. All right. And for women, if it is more than 88 centimeters, you are in the red zone again. So why waist circumference is a reflection of your visceral adiposity. And visceral adiposity is the fat around the gut or the internal organs, which is the unhealthy fat, which is driving inflammation. And we will see this when we do the gut module. But the key thing is, this is again free. Just download it and slowly go through the 10 questions. There is also a link in this questionnaire to the Fit Gut test that I have developed. It is just a set of 16 questions that you can take to assess your gut health. So with that, let's get into, I know we're running short of time. This is the schedule. The schedule is also there on the website. I take the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th classes. Monique, who's my co-host, will take the 6th class, the Heart Over Matter week. And then the 7th and the 8th class, again, I'll take. And my proposal is that depending on the number of people and where they are from, we may choose to do the week 8 in person. But this is just a thought at this stage, and I'm going to put it out as a poll to see whether people are interested in doing that. Now, what we're going to do, friends, we're going to engage in a little bit of mindful movement. I'm going to share this with you. So let me stop sharing my screen, and I will be demonstrating this using my other camera. So let us get into this. So I hope you're all able to see me. Would you be able to please give me a thumbs up? I have changed my camera. Are you all able to see me? Can I get a thumbs up from you all? Yes?
Yep, we can see you.
Lovely. That's good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to essentially just share with you a few little exercises that you can do in order to just start this process of how do I engage in mindful activity, mindful movement. All right. So these are very simple exercises that you can sit on a yoga mat and do very easily. First thing is, start to see the way I'm sitting, and all you're doing is moving your toes up and down, just your tips of your toes, that's it. What this is doing is, it is firstly causing you to stretch the muscles. Then you go the full feet up and down. Feel the pressure in your calves, and you're going to be able to appreciate the stretch and the tension in the muscles. Then you do rotating movements. So rotate both your ankles. You can do this with me if you choose to, and if you are in a position to do that. And then in the opposite direction. Beautiful. Next is we hold both our feet together. Bring the heels closer to the bottom and see how I'm sitting. And what you're doing is you're holding the tips of your toes with both your hands and flapping your legs. You can feel the stretch in your hips. So we are doing this in a way that is very structured, and I'll tell you in a moment. So this allows you to stretch your hip joints. Then you hold your hands together, keep them straight, and you are going to put a full round movement with your hands straight, and the center is around your knees. So as if you're doing a circular movement backwards and forwards, firstly in a clockwise direction, and then we move into an anti-clockwise direction. Beautiful. So that's number 2. Then we sit, and then we come up to the shoulders. So we are moving from our feet all the way up. This is a very quick activation. Should not take more than 5 to 10 minutes. Shoulder movements in the clockwise direction, looking forward, and then in the opposite direction. You can do these activation exercises or energizing exercises, as I call them, in under 10 minutes. Then hands straight, flapping up and down, and then making a fist. And for those of you who are working a lot on computers, there's a higher risk of, we call it carpal tunnel syndrome, from using the keyboard and the mouse, and doing these exercises reduces that risk. Then shoulder up and down, and then last time shoulder rotation forwards and backwards. One more thing, hold both your forearms like this, put it behind your head, and then once again stretch on the other side. Pull it onto one side and then pull it onto the other side. Next, I'm going to get you to stand on your hands and on your knees. Alright? And what we are doing is we're doing the camel pose with the back arched upwards and the back arched downwards. Once again, up and down. Up. When you do up, you look down, and when it's a cat pose, which is a back arch down, your head goes up. Then you do a balancing exercise. Right hand and left leg goes up. Stays there and down. Left hand and right leg up and down. And once again, right hand, left leg down, and left hand, right leg goes up. I'm doing these fast only in the interest of time. Then you come down, bend your knees and your head forward, touching the head to the yoga mat, and all the way to the back. And then come forward one more time, elbows touching the yoga mat without lifting your back. Bring your head and forehead touching the yoga mat. Last exercise that I would suggest, and this is again, I want you to just observe me, please. Don't do it, is to activate your spine. So we rock using this position, lock your hands in front of your knees. Please don't do what I'm going to share with you in a moment, but Just observe me for a moment, all right? And then this is called sitting up without using any support. So put your hands in the front, lock your hands, and I want you to sit up without using any support. Now you may or may not be able to do it depending on your level of experience and exercise and fitness, but this is where it is important to see. It's a from rising up test to see how well your core muscles are toned to support your body. Because please understand, the reason why we're doing this is that as we age, we lose muscle mass. If you are not doing certain exercises in a way that allow you to support your structure, the number one risk of death for people above 70 years of age is fall. When they have a fall, they break a bone, and that leads to a sequence of events. So it's important to recognize that. So, friends, with that, I'm going to just pause there for a brief moment, and I'm going to now change my camera so that we are now able to do a brief 5 to 7 minute meditation. All right, so please give me a moment and I'll just pause my camera and I'm going to come back to you with all right, and then if there are any questions, we'll just do a 5 minute meditation, not much. And this is going to allow you to sort of, understand that we are in a position to connect with our soul. All right, so I'm now going to be playing a little bit of soft music from my give me 1 second, and alrighty, so please take a comfortable seat wherever you are able to, and I am now going to take your glasses off and take your watch off. We want to lose connection with time just for this brief moment. And I am going to just play some music and it's an Om chant. I want you to sit with your hands on your knees and just focus on your breath with eyes closed. Deep inhalation through your nose. Exhale through your mouth, chanting the word Om. Once again, deep inhalation and Om. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Focus your attention in between your eyes, in the center of your brows. Slow breathing in, hold, and out. Focus your attention at the center of your brow. up straight. Don't slouch. Keep your spine straight. All beings have the seed. Of purity within. That can make me transform. And fully develop. Deep into wisdom. Into compassion.
Into a conscious return.
Into a conscious return. Focus your breath into the middle of your brow and make a conscious resolve to tap into that inner wisdom. The answers are within. Slowly, with your eyes still closed, bring the palms of your hands, making a cup to cover your eyes, and open and close your eyes to see the darkness within your palms. Blink a few times and slowly rub the palms in a circular fashion over your face, and then take it over your back of your forehead, over your neck, your shoulders, your chest, your abdomen, knees, legs, as if you're smearing this beautiful energy that you've just gathered onto your body, and now you can slowly open your eyes. Beautiful. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me for this brief meditation session. Let me just change my cameras one more time. So, I think we are going on time. So, what I would just like to share with you is if anybody has got any questions, Anything you want to ask me? We still have a couple of minutes left. This meditation, this brief meditation, all of this is going to be placed as a recording on my YouTube channel. You're welcome to watch it again if you wish to. And this practice of deep breathing. Now, I just want to be very clear about it. The Om is not meant to have a religious connotation. This is a non-religious, a non-sectarian kind of a meeting. It is based on evidence. But the key thing is the chanting of the Om creates a certain vibration. We will be using a different meditation for our subsequent sessions, but it's important to just give you a taste, a feel of what exactly we do in these sessions. Now, I believe I have, I believe that there is a question that we have got. Have we got a question, Monique, or is there a comment or anything that you guys wish to make? Happy to take any questions around here. In terms of, the next sessions and all of that, all the information is there on our website, through which you would have registered perhaps. And the one thing that I want to just mention is, regardless of what you choose to do as you move forward, just download the book, the Transformed book. It's a very brief Q&A type of a book, but there is a brief introduction at the beginning. If there's just one thing you can take from this, and also the second thing would be do the health barometer that I just mentioned to you, because that'll start to give you some insights on this. If there are no further questions or comments, I'm going to say a thank you to every one of you for joining in, because it shows to me that you guys, and you stuck with me to the end. So I'm really appreciative of that too. This is my passion. This is what brings me joy. I want to say this, that this is something that I truly believe there is a need for us to engage in. So with that, without further ado, I want to thank every one of you from the bottom of my heart. If there are any questions, happy to take that, or you can email it to us. But wish you all the very best and enjoy the rest of your weekend. And for those of you who sign up, we will see you at the next session. All the best. Take care. Goodbye.